My name is Dennis Lind. I'm currently working for Santander UK in the corporate bank. I'm an associate director in the structured finance division in the specialized and project finance team. What I enjoy the most in this role is to tackle and to resolve various challenges and complexity to structure a renewable energy project. And that can be a wind farm, a solar PV farm, or even nowadays that we're working quite a bit in the grid scale battery storage projects. I think overall it's very exciting to be part of this global ESG sustainability movement. At Santander, we truly believe that what we're trying to achieve is really a force for good, and it will help the world in general. My background, I am a Taiwanese Canadian, so I was born in Taiwan. I moved to the US with my family when I was 10 years old. My family then subsequently immigrated to Canada when I was 11 years old. After my university in Vancouver, I left for Korea and spent most of my 20s in South Korea, in Seoul. My partner is South Korean as well, so in many ways, South Korea has become another home of mine, and I really share a lot of my background and culture with that country. So after Korea, I spent 1 year in Madrid, in Spain, 1 year in Shanghai, and after that, I was relocated to London for the past 6 years. During this period, after I left Vancouver, I had the privilege to work on various projects in countries like Papua New Guinea, in Turkey, Poland, in Ghana. And I think my international exposure really has blurred my self-identity and heritage because I felt that it's been a very humbling experience. It really taught me to embrace various cultures. As I said, coming in as a blank piece of paper, as a blank canvas, I think it helps me to appreciate, respect different cultures, people with various religion background, and it just helped me to enjoy and learn much more in a very humbling and respectful approach. So I always prefer to use the term Lunar New Year rather than Chinese New Year because it belongs to so many cultures that use the traditional lunar calendar. So this is particularly the case in many of the Asian countries, certainly in South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, many of the Southeast Asian countries. So my preference is always to use the term Lunar New Year rather than Chinese New Year. For me, some of the earliest childhood memory and image of Lunar New Year is my family, my extended family, grandparents, relatives, sort of gather around table enjoying a traditional meal called hot pot or 火锅. In Taiwan, there's a dedicated term called wei lu, which literally means that people gather around a circular dining table where hot pot sort of sits in the middle and people sort of share the food together. And it's really important that because it symbolizes togetherness as a family. As I've been away from home for many, many years, this image and memory has really sort of ingrained in me, and it's something that I really treasure and I often sort of reflected back whenever during the New Year holidays and when I sort of miss my family. It's a really important holiday in many of the Asian cultures, and once again, there's this sense of going home and to be together with family and the loved ones. One example I wanted to share was when I was in Shanghai as part of the Santander Asia team. Our partner bank on the ground, Bank of Shanghai, show a lot of care and love to the Santander team. Many of us were far away from home. Many of the expats, Spanish expats, and staff like myself were a bit homesick because we didn't have our immediate family in Shanghai with us. So our colleagues from Bank of Shanghai were kind enough to invite us to their home to join their Lunar New Year's Eve meal. It really felt like they were our family when we were all sort of away from our own. I truly believe that we live in a time of history where we are all so interconnected. I believe that we should challenge the preconception of what identity or heritage is. I think we need a modern definition of the concept of identity, of culture, moving from away from a more singular ideology to a more pluralistic ideology. I feel that in many cases, in many instances, that our belief system, our self-identity, our value, more often than not, are similar with each other rather than different from each other. So what I strive to do is to represent a modern global citizen, to go into conversation, to interact with people with this sense of humbleness, as I used the term before, this sense of blank canvas, so that I can embrace the various cultural backgrounds, and when I speak and interact with different types of people and coming from different cultures. I believe this is what the modern definition is what we need to talk about in whenever we are in the discussion of diversity and inclusion. So I would like to end by thanking Rex again for inviting me to this diversity and inclusion conversation. I think it's absolutely fantastic that Bird and Burr and the likes of Santander were also really promoting and championing this type of conversation to promote, you know, the diversity and inclusion within our firm. So once again, thank you very much for having me today.